Welcome back, barbecue lovers, wise guys, barbecue podcast. Vin Picaro, Charles Baldwin.
Howdy.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the big man sweater, Charlie, because I put on some weight and not in the traditional way.
Oh, you look fantastic.
Well, thank you. And I wish I could tell you it was because I ate, two 20-pound turkeys, but I did not. I closet ate a little bit because I was sick. I was under the weather, folks. I didn't get a chance to cook. A little bummed out, but I'm back. I'm healthy. I'm happy. It's this December 2nd, and we got a lot of fun stuff coming up in December, so I'm looking forward to that. But I did closet eat.
What was your go-to? Where were you closet eating?
Believe it or not, right? So my wife went out to a restaurant for Thanksgiving dinner with her daughter and in-laws, and they went to they had pasta. They had like a pasta plate. So, okay, so they serve you the whole bird at this place. They bring all the sides on the bird, and they carve it at the table, and they do a good job. My wife wasn't over the moon, but what's nice about it is when you leave, they give you everything from your table, take it home. So you take home leftovers, right? Well, 2 years now, not consecutive, but 2 years, my wife gets home, she opens the box, it's an empty carcass of turkey. So they screw up. Well, think about it, right? There's probably 150 tables. They're making 150 boxes. They don't know where it's going. My wife always says, bring me the box. I'll do it. She doesn't this time.
Of course.
So she calls up. She's like, this is the second year. I can't. My husband didn't come. We paid for 6. And I got to come back and pick up some leftovers. So they were nice. So, Sue, come. Not a problem. We'll hook you up. Okay. But to hook her up, they gave her this big thing of pasta. And I hadn't had pasta in a while, so that was it. I had probably a 3-pound bucket of pasta that I just kept going at for 2 days. It was amazing. And that was my
closet.
closet.
That is nothing to be ashamed of, my friend.
No.
Because let me tell you that the day after Thanksgiving, I ate a 12-pack of Taco Bell. 12 tacos, hard, always hard. I never go for soft, of course, by myself.
Now, were you working? Why did you go to Taco Bell?
Because I drove by it. Because I drove by it, and I don't know. It's like Taco Bell can like suck me in like it's a black hole. Like if I'm going by, I'm not even looking at it. Next thing I know, I'm in the drive-thru lane.
Yep.
12 hard, yeah. With the volcano sauce.
I did. You sent me a clip, which I appreciated because it was probably when I was, down in the dumps for my not eating turkey, and you were making turkey sandwiches.
Yeah, that was only 2.5 hours after dinner. That was shameful in itself. And I'm looking at the fridge and everything in it, and I'm going, you don't have to do this. You can wait till tomorrow.
Right.
At the time, I didn't know that Taco Bell was going to be my thing the next day. But yeah, so I hit those turkey sandwiches. Oh, so good. And that's my favorite part about Thanksgiving is the turkey sandwiches, like late at night when you're watching football.
Yes.
But, with my kids, there's hardly anything left,
Right.
But it was just me and the boys and my mom.
Yep.
So I didn't even do a whole bird. I just went and bought one of those breasts.
Yes.
Like about 7 pounds.
Best part of the meat anyways.
Yeah, so it was easy. It cooked in like 2.5 hours.
Sure.
It was good for us. And, just for good measure, I threw in a smoked Virginia ham on the side.
One under each arm.
Yeah, just in case.
Right.
Something happened.
Company drops by.
Yeah,
you never know.
4 or 5 other
maybe
people.
Vinny will be feeling a little better later.
You might drive up, and I'm like, hey, I got some ham, But overall, it was fantastic. A good Thanksgiving.
No, it's good, and it's funny. It's like the older you get. I mean, I actually started cooking a little less. So my son, who doesn't fall victim to the Italian Thanksgiving, which is all the traditional plus pasta and meatballs.
Was that the 7 fishes?
No, that's coming up. But
that's coming up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's just we have a stuffed shell and maybe a lasagna and then meatballs and sausage, and we put that right in the middle. And I actually thought, because I grew up that way and grew him up that way, I thought it was like part of the process. But now I'm learning as everybody's getting older that no, they just want to do more traditional. So I planned my cook around all traditional, and was going to forego that, and then it didn't matter anyways because I didn't get a chance to cook. But yeah,
I don't want. Listen, I don't. You know, my mom obviously she retired from cooking the Thanksgiving dinners,
Yep.
and I tell this story. The day I knew she was done with Thanksgiving is when we all came over for Thanksgiving, and I probably told the story. Right? She had the
Cornish hens,
yeah, the
rotisserie
chickens from Stop and Shop. Yeah, that's when I knew she was done. So anyway,
Yeah,
I didn't want to cook this year. I was just so I got this reservations at Fogo de Chao because they were putting on a big spread
right.
for
you
Thanksgiving.
mentioned that.
Yeah, and I was all set and it was going, and the kid shot me down. Dad, we don't want to go out. We want to sit and watch the football game and mashed potatoes and everything. Okay.
Yep.
You know, I'll be happy to cook. So I cooked from 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock, and we ate in 8.5 minutes, and everybody passed out in front of the TV.
And there you go.
Good for me.
Yep. Well, I tell you, it was it went back in a whirlwind, and it's always a potluck with us because everybody has different work schedules. So we pull it, and it doesn't matter. So that's great. So there's no stress, right? Hey, is it Wednesday? Is it Friday? I don't care. Just let's get it done. Let's all sit around a table. And I was the fulcrum. I couldn't do it, and I couldn't bear to tell them. I even told them. I said, look, I feel better. I said I'll wear a mask. We'll go to a restaurant. I'll sit. And they were like, nah, we want traditional. We'll wait. We'll see. So I'm sure we'll get together during sometime in December. If not, it'll be Christmas. Yeah. But I'm looking forward. Yeah, big time to Christmas. I already started talking with Tommy. So before I mention anything about cooking for Christmas, because that is, my new plight in life, and December's all the best. Tommy had that leftover egg roll recipe on the Wise Guys channel. It did really well. It resonated really well. And I wanted to try that. I never got out to get the egg roll skins because, so you said turkey sandwiches. So when I was, I'm never smart enough to buy bread, but I always have those tortilla wraps in the fridge. Mm-hmm. So I do the same thing with that, right? Cranberry stuffing, a little mashed potatoes, turkey, a little gravy, whack all that in the microwave for 30 seconds, roll it up nice like a burrito, going.
Mighty good.
Oh, awful good. Awful good. So I would do one of those for sure, but I want to try that egg roll recipe. And now Tommy's got me like pumped for Christmas. He's like, all right, we're doing a standing rib roast, which is a traditional one. Nice. And so like I did have turkey because, we do the cooks and we do them weeks out, right? So I had a turkey like 2 weeks out and stuff, but we're doing that. The other one I like, it's not very traditional, and in the end, it's a pork chop, right? But it's just so much fun to make is the crown roast, pork crown roast, which is basically just 2 pork loins with the rib in, French cut at the top, and then they truss them together and to make the crown. And you stuff that up with nice apple bread stuffing. Nice. Cook that up, and then put the little hats on. The
little hats on the ends. Yeah, that's what I always remember.
It. Salute the hats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Funny about Tommy, I made his chorizo stuffing.
Oh, yeah?
From the video? Yep. And it came out amazing. Yeah. And my kids are like, Dad, this is the best stuffing we ever had. And I said, good. Take some home and tell your mother that my stuffing's better than hers just to go. They didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did. I ended up eating the one Tommy made, and I was wondering, because I like spicy, and there's a little bit of spice going on here. And I'm like, I watch him make it. And, when my wife makes something spicy, there's jalapenos, there's those little Chinese red hot peppers and stuff. Tommy had none of that. There was none. Like, I bought the recipe. I bought the ingredients for his recipe, and there was none of that. And I was like, why am I getting heat in this? It's from that chorizo. That one that I think it's Gabriel's chorizo is a brand that he uses, and it's listed as a hot hot chorizo, and it is hot. And boy, and it's funny. And for your national viewers, it's not everywhere. Like I was talking to Shannon, and she's down in Georgia, and she's editing, and she's like, "Oh, is it chorizo? Is that the same as?" And she's coming up with these other meats, and I'm like, "No." So I'm sending her the name brand, like pictures of it, and she's like, they sell nothing like this down here. You
That's
can't
crazy.
buy.
It's funny.
And so I guess everybody can't get it, but guys, if you need it, let us know. We'll get you some. We'll be shipping meats around the country.
Fresh out of Fall River.
It is fantastic. It's a game changer for sure.
And I of course, because I'm an infamous, notorious shortcut taker.
Oh boy.
I saw his recipe and everything. I looked and I said, wow, this is going to be great. And then 2 boxes of stovetop and a pound of shitty Slater.
There you go. But that's all it is, because that
Bang! And it came out great.
Yep. No, I mean, the Petridge Farm breading is basically the same thing as stovetop, right? It's all got all the ingredients in it. Tommy didn't do that. Tommy cut all the aromatics himself, and you know what he did? He's so goddamn patient. Oh, I guess to be a good cook or be a butcher, you got to be patient. But so after you cook the chorizo down and all your vegetables and your aromatics, you got all that done. Okay, now you mix in your breading before you go and bake it out. And with the breading, you got to add the chicken stock.
Yes.
And I'm like 1/4 chicken stock. Okay, next, no. Tommy's like 5 ounces, 8 ounces, and he's stirring, and he's talking to me like that. I'm like, cook, goddammit. I'm double parked, what are you doing? And he's taking his time and he's patient. He's like, oh, no, I think we need a little more. I'm like, well, put it in. It's not going to get in there unless you put it. And he puts some more in, and he's stirring, and he's like, I got to taste this. I'm like, of course you do. You're cooking, So
you're the chef.
Yeah, he goes, no, we need a little bit more, another 5 minutes, and yeah, it took him like 20 minutes just to add the chicken stock to the process of this cook. But it does make a difference because everything kind of melds out together, and there you go.
Yeah, no, I use the chicken. Even with the stovetop, instead of water, I use the chicken stock.
Yes.
It makes a huge difference.
Yes.
And I just, I was the only show in town, so I had my phone here, and all the alarms were on it. Check turkey at 11:30. Put ham in at 11:45. Put the tinfoil on the turkey so it don't, and my phone was just ringing off the hook on the alarms.
Cute.
But
that's awesome. That's how
it's all in the timing. That's what the Reverend used to tell me when he was serving me my tuna fish melt on an English muffin.
Oh, you guys had the what are you guys talking about? You had the oyster.
Oh, he used to do the fried oysters.
The fried oysters, yeah.
And he was the only one that ate them.
Yeah. I never had that, and because you raved about it, I wanted to get that on the recipe thing. Yep. I know my kids don't like fish, so I said, all right, I'm going to let that go for that. Maybe I'll get it a different time. But no, Tommy's a hell of a cook, and now he tagged me out today, pinged me today, and he's like, hey, I'm ready. Wednesday, let's go. I want to cook, and I'm like, yeah. So I need things to cook, right? We got the crown roast, we got the standing rib roast. We're going to get those on for sure. I think we're going to get a couple sides done. But if there's anything you're looking to learn or see the butcher cook, let us know, because he's ready. He's cranked. He's been doing a little bit of traveling, and he's been off pace, but he's back. He's ready. So let us know what you want us to cook. That'd be great. Yeah. So I mean, so what happened in the morning? I did something early in the morning that got me back in the house at 9, which I didn't realize it was 9. And it was like, bang, Macy Day Parade. Yep. So I was like, oh, wow, this is it. This is the thing, guys, my wife's got a tradition. 1st of January, Macy Day Parade. She does this big Asian plate of fruit. And we just sit down, sometimes in bed or sometimes on, in the family room, and we just have our coffee, our fruit, and we just chill out, right? So we're loving it. We're having a great time, and these poor people in New York are getting poured on. It's
awful
pouring.
Day. Yep.
So now they're picking up the pace of getting the floats through. I don't know how that made sense because they still got to fill airtime, right? So why they were trying to rush the balloons were maybe like 12 feet off the ground, hitting people in the head. But it was actually enjoyable. I had a good time. as you get older, you kind of fall out of the loop of like what musicals are coming back. And, so things were like actually interesting to me rather than saying, oh yeah, I saw that before and I hate that girl.
Oh, look, Rocky and Bullwinkle for the 58th year in a row.
Yep. So we enjoyed the Macy's Day Parade, and then, it's sad to say, and, I'm a football guy, don't like to brag about this, but I didn't jump to the football game right after. Do you know what I watched?
Wait a minute. Hang on. I have no idea.
117th showing of the National Dog Show. So they have all the canines on TV. And the guy that comes from Rhode Island, the silver hair, he's very staunch. I don't know his name. Guys, you know his names? I mean, give me his give me his name.
I've literally never watched one of those competitions in my life.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's boring as hell. And if you got a drinking problem, wink, wink. It's a great thing to watch. So I sat there for and it's here's how sad it got this year, right? So they can't show you every breed because they have a ton of breeds and a ton of dogs. But they say, go online. You can see the other. So here I am.
Oh, let's go through the shepherds.
Look, there's another 35 minutes of.
Good God.
Yeah, it was bad, but we watched it. So then I finally got over to football, and it was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
Good for you. The only time I've watched a dog show like that is when I watched the movie Babe, where the guy enters his little pig in the dog show, and the freaking thing wins.
Oh yeah,
that'll do, pig.
Yep.
That'll do.
No, it's. I don't know why it's interesting to me.
Because you have dogs. I mean, I have a dog too, but he's past it. That's the nicest thing I can say.
He missed that. Like me in the beauty contest.
Yeah.
But no. So that was my. So that was fun. I mean, I really enjoyed that. And then, like I said, that was my wife went out to dinner that day. I was sick on the couch, and then, I got some leftovers at the end of the day, and that 3 pounds of pasta that just hit the spot.
Yeah.
So I was like, she was like, "You want this turkey?" I'm like, "No." Yeah. Okay. I had Tommy's turkey a week out, which was delicious. So friggin' moist.
Did he fry it?
No, we didn't. We ended up doing it traditional in the oven. We didn't even smoke it. But the idea was for him, the challenge I had for him, which he actually ended up loving, is I asked him to brine it. I gave him my brining recipe. I said, hey, could you pick up the turkey on Monday, defrost it, brine it, and we cooked it on Wednesday. And he comes in with the brine turkey, and he's like, I've never brined a turkey in my life. I'm like, you're kidding me? And he's no. And I'm like, why? Because he usually does a self-basting, right? So he's either putting butter or melted butter, injected into the bird.
Yeah.
And when you brine something, it's not just getting the flavor, saturated into it. It's actually breaking down the enzymes and the proteins of the meat that make the meat more, subtle and subtle.
Subtle. You were right the first time.
No, like
subtle.
Supple. Thank you.
Supple and subtle.
Makes the meat more supple and brings the flavor in a little bit more. So that thing came out delicious, juicy, spot on. And when you can't, I'm sorry, anybody who burns a turkey in the oven, I don't know what you're doing, because you put the probe in, bang, it's done, and it's spot on. So it was great. And with the stuffing that we had, and my wife had brought back some sides, so that was good. So that turkey compared to the turkey that she got from the restaurant, different, right? And again, they're making 135 birds. It's not the same as what Tommy did. So, the pasta hit the spot, though. I was like, all right, I'm done turkey. Get that dry turkey away from me. Bring on the pasta. Give it to me, boy.
The one thing I did do was I rubbed it down with, who brought it? I think Rich brought us his some things in his rub or something. He gave it to us when he came here, and I took one of his barbecue rubs and covered it down. And it was different, but in a really good way.
Yeah.
It was very savory and absolutely delicious. The skin was just
good.
I have to admit, kids, I ate most of the skin behind your back before you got there. But you didn't know. You didn't say anything, so no harm, no foul.
There you go. So it was. So now it's December 2nd, and all gloves are off. Here comes Christmas. Oh, that's the other thing I've been doing, and I've been reaping the benefits. But boy, it's nothing like it was in the 90s, but it still sucks. I've been so and if you don't know, friends, before I tell you, go hit the subscribe button, please. I need you to get out there and get us some more subscribers, please.
Help us out.
Please, thank you and thank you.
Help us out.
But yeah, so
Like and subscribe.
absolutely. And if you didn't know, besides that, we closed on the building for our studio. So we're moving. We're in high gear. We're setting up. We got IT going. We got AV going. We got painting. We got, it's going to be a hell of 8 weeks. But yeah, I
Did the mechanical bull come in?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
No, but one of the stripper poles came in. So
all right.
that's
No, that's fine.
and I ordered the glass doors for the wine cellar. But anyways, I digress. You're going to love the difference when we get there. But in the process of doing this, I've been going out and doing some Black Friday shopping.
Really?
Yeah. And it's the money you can save is off the hook.
Pretty significant. I agree.
You walk in the door, they're talking 30%, right? And then the best word is no, right? They're like, oh, we got to get this done by tomorrow at 8:00 because Sunday, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know. And and then here's another trick, folks. And I'm lucky enough to have a truck, but if you take the freight out and you take cash on delivery tomorrow, they will work better deals for you because they don't want to spend the freight if they don't have to, and they want this stuff out of the warehouse. It's just costing them money. That's what the Black Friday is about. It's sitting in a warehouse. It's costing them money. They want it out. They want it today. And if they don't have to ship it to you, you can almost write your own ticket on that thing. So we did a lot of that, Sue and I, for, 10 days prior to the weekend after Thanksgiving and then that weekend. Which was this past weekend. And we've been going crazy with that, and it's been great. So here we go. Here comes December, and we're working hard on the studios, and we got our favorite party coming up.
Oh, the holiday smoke.
The holiday smoke. Yeah. We got some guys out there coming out every year. Charlie and I, we started this little ring. I don't know how it started with like high school alumni.
Football. Football you weren't in for a long time.
This is true. This is true. And then it kind of went over to some of the current parents at the high school where my son graduated. And then, it just kind of grew a little bit. I think the most we had was probably like 14. But I think it's usually a steady 8 or 10 guys get together. The first Friday in every December, we get together. We have some great food this year. Of course, Wise Guys Barbecue will be on the scene. And we have some bourbon. We have some martinis, which I know
we do.
And cigars. So it's a blast. And that's this December 6th.
This Friday.
This Friday. So we're looking forward to that. That kicks it off, gets everybody in a great mood for December. And then we coast on. And the kitty cat will be coming home again from college on the 17th. And it'll be gloves off kind of a thing until he goes back to school, I guess.
Yeah.
So
beat him while you have him here for a little while.
Yeah. No.
And you let him go again.
I don't mind. He gets a little. I don't know. It's funny. I actually noticed it. I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but I'm going to put my dad sunglasses on for this. My dad's spectacles for this. He came home and he saw his buds and he had fun and he got into the old kind of rigors of that high school group. But I also feel like as much as he missed them early September compared to now, I think he also felt like a little weird, like, what am I doing telling these stories? When we have these stories, like now things become stories, right?
Yeah.
Rather than what happened the other week. They were, remember what happened last year? Remember what happened 2 years ago? And it's like, and of course, when you're 60, those stories they all come back around again. They're great, but maybe the first year out, not so much. So he had fun. He's glad to see everybody, but he was somewhat thrilled to go back to school and get back into things. He had some unfinished business up there with his football team that he took care of today, and now he's done. He's playing intramural basketball, and here we go.
Did we talk about the last game of the season? I don't think we did, Vin.
No, but it's.
Well, let me tell you about the last game of the season when my godson got in there and lit it up as a freshman. Got in there because the starter got hurt and performed very well for a know-nothing freshman. Really composed. From what I could see on the video, I think he
didn't screw it up.
He didn't screw it up, and that's when you're a freshman. That's almost all you can ask for.
He did throw an interception, but so what? You know,
he did throw a touchdown.
He did throw a touchdown. He had a good fourth quarter, and hey, it didn't help that it was their fourth string, and they were playing constant prevent because they were losing 42
to listen to you. I refuse to have you bring anything negative about this because I'm so proud of him, and he did really well, and I think he's got a bright future, and I can't wait to see him next year.
That was some of the unfinished business. He had to meet and do his exit meetings with the staff, and you know, I didn't expect anybody to come up and blow smoke up his skirt or anything, you know, but I did expect somebody to say, Jesus, you know, maybe, you know, we threw a boomerang out for you and it actually came back, you know, that kind of a thing. Yeah. But and he said that. He said, you know, the biggest attaboys he got from the staff was like, you know, you worked hard and you listened to what we told you and you didn't shit the bed, right? So that was it. That's it. That's what he gets. But which
if you haven't coached football or sports in general, if you have a kid that listens and does what he's told, that's like gold. All right, like, you want 11 of those guys on there, but especially your quarterback.
So
he's doing what you want. I mean, I'm overjoyed for the whole
thing.
Yeah,
and it's great all the way around. So it solidified all his hard work. He's excited to be working more and coming back next year, and it kind of gives him a different, you know, coaches will be looking at him with different spectacles next year.
Absolutely, and he should, you know, work his ass off, and you know that, and I know that, and I know he knows that, and come back bigger and stronger and faster, and I think he'll do well, and I just know as a coach,
the bigger's the problem with him. You know,
he doesn't look out of place out there.
Yeah,
it's just I know the equipment, everything puts in. You know, you feel like you're another 25 pounds heavier.
So he's 6'3" now. Did I tell you that?
I was going to say he looked taller.
The OC at the leaving said, you know, you grew, and he said, well, I'm trying, coach. I'm in the gym every day. He goes, no, I think you got taller. I think you're 6'3". Now they listed him as 6'2", and he's got my 6'1.5", right?
Yeah.
But they got him at 6'2", and then he's like, hey, I want you to measure on the way out. I want to see where you're at, and he's 6'3". So you know, again, that makes him look even smaller when he's only 173.
In his spikes, he's really 6'3.5". Almost 6'4".
Boy, we've been living by that all our lives, right? Hey, you can't play without spikes, so you should measure at spikes. No, so he's got to put on, you know, I say muscle, but it's not muscle. The kid puts on muscle. It just doesn't put him on mass with the muscle. He needs to put on some weight.
5 or 6 pounds on him will look
I'm going to get Tommy's
huge
turkey injector and just...
Yeah, and what you want to do is you want to inject testosterone in it.
No.
And maybe some trenbolone.
No. 2-3 pounds of pasta bucket and some butter in the ass, and he's all set.
Yeah. I mean, he should be eating like 2 or 3 cheeseburgers a day.
iPods everywhere going off right now. Click, click, click. Anyways, I digress. But
Shannon, feel free to edit what you got to edit, all right? I mean, I know we're off the rails today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I got some, since we're talking about Christmas, I have a Christmas present for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And
yeah, I'm not a good...
Back in July, you know, Vin's been trying to get me to start cooking, and I dabbled in it, and he gave me a nice vertical smoker that I was totally intimidated by. And but it was beautiful. I cleaned it up soon, and I took it and I brought it over to my vacation house and didn't get a chance to use it, but brought it home. I bought a pellet smoker.
Oh no, sir!
Yes, I did.
Look at you. That's awesome. Which one?
I can't remember.
You get one Traeger?
I think so, but I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's some funny name. I don't know.
Yoder? No.
Yoder.
Was it a Yoder?
Yoder?
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's a
Bueller.
Bueller. It's a entry level.
Okay.
Pellet smoker, and with a pellet feed.
Yep.
With the auger.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for it to come in. And I don't know if I'm going to try it in this winter. I probably won't be able to resist trying it during the winter. But
yeah. Whatever you do,
we'll
don't plug it into your porch light.
Let me tell you how hard I laughed, because I was sitting there last night, having an edible on the porch, and
nice.
And while I was contemplating, the show today, I looked over, because I'm going to put it outside, obviously, but
right.
I think I can get away with putting it on our porch. But I need power, so I'm looking around, I'm like, oh,
there's that porch light.
There's the porch
I feel
light.
like that might not be a good idea.
I feel I can get it right in there, no problem.
Yeah, no, don't do
yeah.
that. Don't
do
because you'll
that.
get whacked. You'll definitely
because I know
whacked.
the deuce will be shutting off the power on the porch.
No, my wife will come over that day and shut your power off.
Take care of that for me.
God damn it, Chip's lights on. I know it is. Let me go shut that off.
Oh, boy,
But
boy.
no, that's great. That's great news. Congratulations.
Yeah,
You're gonna love it.
Pop my cherry.
Yeah, and don't buy a brisket. Get a nice pork butt and get the pork on there the first time. I say.
How smart do you? How smart do you think I look? You know I'm going to buy a brisket first thing off.
Oh no!
And I'm going to do it.
All right. I mean, it's not
you
hard.
have to learn.
It's,
It's
just an investment. Guys, if you want to, we'll put a phone number at the bottom. You can call in and donate towards Charlie's brisket. So I cooked a brisket. So the week before Thanksgiving, my wife had a first birthday for her sister's grandson, and it was terrific. We had about believe it or not, 75 people in this house. We were laying them down sideways at some point. There was just tons of people here and so much fun hanging out. And the food is ridiculous, right? So Sue's doing all the Asian spreads, and they're making the spring rolls, and they're making the egg rolls, and they're doing the lop, and they're doing the udon noodle. Is just amazing. All the Asian food they were cooking, and then Sue's like, "Okay, so we're going to do some barbecue." And I said, "Sure." So that day I had to go and settle on the studio, so I had to leave early. But I put in the night before brisket. It was 18 pounds. I think it was an 18-pound brisket before we trimmed it, so maybe it was about 15 pounds. Ran it through the night. It wasn't that long of a cook. It was a nice piece. Probably put it on at 8, probably took it off at 10, so it was probably 10, 12 hours. And it rested out nice, and we cut it at 2 o'clock. It was delicious, still nice and hot and tender. It was perfect. So... So my wife wanted to do pork butts too, and
for good measure.
Well, yeah, 75 people. So that's what we were doing. But she's like, I don't want to put it in the smoker. Let's just roast it. I said, yeah, that's fine. So she had marinated it. They have this marinating process. So it was actually 2 days out in the marinade. Took it. We seasoned it all up. We netted it so it was all back together, looking like a pork shoulder. And we put 2 of them in a pan, and we put them in the ovens, right? And she's like, well, what? And I'm like, what? Low and slow, just like the smoker, low and slow. Get it up to, anything over 175, you can pull it. I don't like 165 because you don't know. But, I'd still rather go to 200, right? So I ended up getting tied up with this whole signing thing, and I get back. It was supposed to start at 2. I was supposed to be back by 3. It was like 3:30. And I walk in, and she's like, I'm going to cut the pork. I'm like, good. Yeah, I'm glad I made it in time. Like, get it out. She brings out these 2 total. I mean, this was literally the color of the pork that was roasted black. Now, luckily, it was we when we cased it in the netting, we put all the fat out, so it was all the fat that was burnt. So all the meat underneath was still
fine.
It wasn't that dry. It was still juicy and was edible, right? Forget about the hide. There was no usually I like to take that off. I'll cut it, crisscross it, and fry it up and crisp that a little bit. Yeah. But that wasn't happening with this. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. And I'm like, it's not on the smoker. It's not in the backyard. It's in the oven in front of you. How did you? Oh, I just forgot. I'm like, how do you forget?
She didn't have the alarm set on her phone. Check ham at 12:15. Yeah.
So I was like, right then, beep, beep. Where's my fucking brisket? She's like, oh, no, I got it. I'm like, yeah, you got it. But did you leave it on the smoker? Right now. So I go to the app on my smoker because when the brisket was done, I called her. I said, take it off, right? Because we wrapped it in the morning. I'm going to take it off, get it warmed. So she said she did that. But I happened to pull my phone out in panic, and I'm still getting a reading on my goddamn pellet smoker. I'm like, you didn't shut the fucking pellet, and it's supposed to be done at 10. This is 4 hours. And she's like, no, I took it off. It's not there. And I'm like, oh, thank God. She just left it on, unfortunately. Yeah. But she had taken it off. And thank God it was perfect. The brisket was really nice. Pork wasn't bad either, but it wasn't. It wasn't one. She got her balls broke real bad that day. Burnt roast, not good. Yeah, so that was good. That was fun. That was about as much barbecue that I did because I usually do smoke a turkey just to see how I do. I don't do real. I don't love it. I'll be honest with you guys. For me, it comes out a little dry. It's hard to. I love these videos. I saw some memes on Instagram. And they're bringing out this gorgeous smoked bird, and they're trying to pretend like they're cutting it. And all these juices are running out. Well, first of all, the juices are running out it's not in your meat. So you got dry meat, guys. Number one. Number two, that ain't from the meat. Okay, that is for sure injected right before they cut it. Right. So, okay, believe what you want. And
it's like seeing the Whopper on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It never looks like the Whopper.
Right. It's made out of wax.
The Whopper when they show you on TV is like hand painted and sculpted by somebody, and it looks perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want to lie to your audience, you're gonna lie to your audience.
Okay.
That's why
That's okay.
Good, bad, or indifferent. You're getting the real deal here with the wise guys. So. Anyways, that was the barbecue that we got done.
Well, I did that. I did, like I said, I did the ham, and I wrapped it, but I didn't wrap like the whole ham. I put chicken broth, like a little chicken broth in the pan, and then just wrap the whole pan, so it would like kind of steam a little bit with the chicken broth in there, and then I took it off towards I unwrapped it towards the end and got the skin nice and brown. Overdid it a little bit, I thought, but it came out amazing.
I saw my nephew's buddy does some Instagrams, and he spatchcocked and smoked a turkey. It looked delicious because what he did, which is something I want to try, he does and it's really cool how he does it. His wife actually helps him with it, but he takes I forget what he calls it. He calls it something cool, but it's basically bacon, like a bacon weave, and he does that on a wax paper. And then he takes the whole wax paper and he dumps it on the turkey and peels it back. So the whole turkey is like wearing this leather face of bacon. And that just makes it delicious. And that looked really good. And I'm thinking it's taking most of the heat on the skin. So it's going to make it even juicier, I can only imagine. But
there's I've seen this many times. I haven't tried it yet. But like you said, you make a net of bacon.
Yes.
And then you put like sausage, your favorite sausage, like whatever, mild Italian, whatever, you fill it up, and then you just roll the whole thing up and throw it in the oven.
Yeah, like a porchetta.
And I can't remember
that's got to go on
called, but people put barbecue sauce on the top, and then you get these thick slices of sausage wrapped in bacon. It looks fantastic.
So that is another Italian kind of roast that we have at the holidays. We do a porchetta, and it's basically the center loin of the pork, and then you just butterfly it, and you just keep butterflying it out, so it ends up being this like long, thin piece of center cut pork, and then you stuff it with your spinach, your cheese, and your all your aromatics, and you roll it back into a log, and then you tie it off and cook it. It's fantastic. We'll definitely have to get that on the list for our cooking. So, anyways, Bob Bowman, which all you guys know, Bob's been on the show a few times already, and we love to have him down here. Love to have him back. But Bob's working on a new business that he's premiering, and he's going to be, because he is he's an honorary wise guy here. He's going to be doing our barbecue for our big smoke, our holiday smoke.
Outstanding.
So he's got pulled pork egg rolls, smoked cream cheese, 2 different kinds, ribs, and burnt ends. So brisket burnt ends. So he's going to be bringing that, and we're going to have some other goodies on that table.
Jesus Marimba.
Yeah, it's fun. Good? I mean, it's not a bad time, No, I never know where the night goes because we set up at 6.
You sure don't.
Starts at 6. No, thanks to you and your goddamn edibles. I'm not touching those this year. Oh, the guy that calls me up and yells at me like, "Oh, and this year we can't forget to take the picture," and I'm like. We didn't forget. I remember editing them and sending it to everybody in a Google Drive.
I didn't get it. You didn't send it to me.
Anyways, I'll send them again this year. I even went back and looked. I said, I know it says 23 on it. I know it's last year. And it was there.
It was 2 years ago. We forgot.
Yeah, 2 years ago we might have blown it.
1 year we because you and I, it was like we were leaving.
Yeah, well, we used to take it with a cell phone. All right, guys, and they come out like
right. You had the camera set up.
I had the camera and the tripod with the beep, 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 and I'm going to do the same thing this year. And if you don't get me high, there'll be some really nice pictures.
No
I'm
promises.
actually going to. So Johnny Z, our film our producer director here, it will be down for the Big Smoke. So he'll be helping me out with some of that filming. He's gonna make sure that gets done. So that'll be terrific. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that this Friday because it's the first time I can be social in 10 days.
Oh, so, you know who's going to be? Who I invited to show up at the smoke?
Wait, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
I invited this guy right here, okay? Mr. Jameson.
Yeah, well,
He's coming, pal.
he always shows up for you. I don't know.
He always does.
He's a devoted friend, I got to say.
I love him.
So good stuff. Looking forward to it. All right, folks, we're back, and it was Charlie who reminded me that we're not drinking enough wine, period, and definitely not drinking enough wine on the show because it's something we really enjoy because of a lot of reasons. One more than the rest, but anyways, I got a Barolo, Charlie. It's a Rotti, R-A-T-T-I Barolo Marcinasco, 2016. I haven't had this before. I don't even know the rating. I didn't look it up. Someone gifted this to me recently, and I said, "Oh, definitely go on the podcast." I'm expecting full body. I'm expecting a big slap in the face because it's the best thing about the Barolos is you can team them up with all the red meats that we love to eat. So, anyways, let's have some wine. Let's cheers to our fellow holidays and audience and subscribers, and thank you very much.
Cheers to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Ooh, yummy. I as soon as it hit my tongue, I felt like a big kick in the ass coming, but it never came. So that means
I agree.
it kind of mellowed out. Yeah, this is good stuff. I think it's
smooth.
the dating too. I got to all right, so 2016, right? So I probably went out around 17 or 18 and bought a bunch of wine. This was gifted to me, so I didn't buy this, but I'm noticing those wines, the 17s and 16s, I'm drinking.
It's a good year.
Well, not that it was a good year. It's just that it's the right time to drink it. Like 6, 7, 8 years later is the right time, rather than me buying a 17 and drinking an 18, and it's like, you know, a good 4 to 6 years out in the bottle, I think helps.
I'm completely ignorant of
Yeah.
vintage and any kind of thing like that or fermenting. I just enjoy drinking with you,
Right.
my dear friend.
All right, good. Well, that's good because I enjoy drinking with you. So here's to you guys, and here's to more drinking wine.
But that is really good. That's up there with.
So why don't we drink wine when we go out? Go out.
Well, for me personally, red wine creeps on me, and all of a sudden I'm, having a nice conversation, and then I have one more glass of red wine, and I'm a monster. So
when you do Jameson or martinis, you can gauge it better. Is that what you're telling me? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know
Makes sense.
I know my finish line.
I'm learning that with with bourbon and Tommy's influence. I've been trying to learn more, try different things. When we closed on the studios that day, the closing attorney gave me a nice bottle of, I'm not going to remember the name, and that's not the name, but anyways, I was like, hey, cool. No, it's not here. It's actually in the studios. I'm going to use it for a toast when we get going.
Awesome.
And anyways, I looked it up, and it was relatively, it was a little more expensive, right? Because I have my 3 bourbons, right? I have my $35 daily, and then I have my like $65 weekly, and then I have something that's like $100+ and I'll drink that, once in a while or when friends come over.
Special occasion.
Yeah, if I'm pregnant or something. So,
or not pregnant, cause for the toast at our age.
So that's how I gauge it. And this thing was about $100, and I'm dying to taste it. I haven't tasted it yet, but reading on it and learning about it, it's got a lot of great reviews. As soon as we drink, we'll drink it on air, folks. You'll see when we drink it, and we'll tell you all about it then when we taste it. So, anyways, my point is, I had a point. You bastard. That with bourbon, because I'm trying to enjoy and I'm trying to taste it and I'm trying to understand it, it creeps on you because you're not like, boom, give me another or don't give me another. It just, I'll have a sip and then boom, I'll try this. And then, so this was at the party, my wife's party. So then we went over to the tequila, the reposado, and I was doing the same thing. And I was going back and forth and I was like, but I never got like, 5 martini drunk. I didn't get that. I just got this nice roll all night long. And I'm learning that. I'm learning with the bourbon, right? Because you don't have to drink as much, right? Wine, you got to put down a few bottles. The bourbon, you only got to get through a few, and you can go slow and you can enjoy it. And it's great. But I understand now what you mean by creep because wine doesn't creep on me. Wine, I can drink it like martini, like boom, first one great, second one, third one I'm loopy, and don't have any more or get loopy, But bourbon doesn't do that. I just kind of rule it out.
Yeah,
Cool
speaking of the
stuff.
tequila too, like how we grew up, tequila was strictly for shots.
Oh, yeah.
After we're already gassed,
right.
Do tequila shots.
Get to the worm. Get to the worm.
Yeah,
Where's the
eat that-
goddamn worm?
Eat that worm. What's wrong with you? But it's some of those nice higher end whiskeys and nice to sip on. And I'm not a big. I said whiskey. I meant tequila.
Yeah.
I'm not a big tequila guy overall, but some of those nice ones, you put them on the rocks with a lime and just sip on them. Very, very nice.
Yeah, no, I like the Reposado. That's the 3-month aged one. And it just, I drink it neat, and I drink it like I drink a bourbon. I just nice and smooth and just relax with it. I mean, it's one of those things, like I give it to my wife, and it's funny. It's not, I'm not going to go there. Anyways.
Okay, so we're back. Just want to shout out to some supporters of Wise Guys Barbecue and Rhode Island Barbecue News, the Fight Factory.
Do you ever tell them where we go when you come back?
They don't want to know where we go because they don't want to know that I got to go. My bladder is the size of a pea since I got 55 years old. No, I'm just
wondering.
We don't really go anywhere. We just sit right
We really
here.
don't come back either. We just kind of cut away, come back. But all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You need to allow a man his illusions, my friend.
I know. It's all show business.
We're still sitting here, and we'd like to thank some of our supporters. Fight Factory in West Warwick on 3 Bridal Avenue just finished up having a fantastic USA boxing event. For the Silver Gloves in New England.
I saw some of Zach's videos. They look really cool.
Yeah, it really was a hit, and we were able to pass out some Wise Guys barbecue. What do they call that? Gear, swag.
Swag.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I told you our T-shirts went like hotcakes. Like
Yes.
45 seconds, they were gone. I didn't even get one. So, very successful event, and they're looking forward to having this annually. This is huge.
Nice.
Because it's legit. It's USA Boxing, and it's the real deal. And the winners in some of the weight classes moved on to like the New Englands and regionals and stuff like that. So
No, that's so great that was successful because it's good for everybody, right? The fighters, the promoters, the gym. It adds so much, and it brings on more of it, right? It's like this. It's like Rhode Island Barbecue Guys. I mean, Barbecue News, I should say, and Wise Guys. We started it off, and we thought we were going to be kind of scratching the surface and breaking our fingers against the board trying to figure this out. But when it just sort of clicked, and there was so many great people in the community just want to jump out and do well, and it just keeps itself promoting, right? And it's all good. There's no. There's no bad in this. So it's so good that it's good for everybody.
And Franco and Zach and the crew over there at Fight Factory did a phenomenal job. Franco does everything first rate.
Yeah.
When he sets.
Now, who is he? Is he the
Franco
owner?
is the owner of the gym, and he also owns Food Vibes. Food Vibes for all your food truck needs. You can find them on Facebook at Food Vibes RI.
Shit, when does he come on and do something with us? He do any barbecue on that truck?
Well, they make a pulled pork that is, and it's a pulled pork that is fantastic, and they make their really good thing is their Italian grinder egg rolls.
Oh wow!
But yeah, they make a great pulled pork, which is made usually by Gary at Gary's Sandwich Shack.
Nice. What's so funny?
Because I'm just like going one thing into the other.
I know.
It's all connected.
But, oh my goodness.
Yeah. The Food Vibes are great. They do catering, parties, weddings, everything. They're coming down towards the end of the season right now. Obviously, I think they got maybe one more weekend, but you can pick them up in the spring, and they're phenomenal food and great people.
Super.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to thank you for that, and I wanted to give you a little bit of heads up. Well, more our viewers, right? You know this stuff because I send you memos and your girl yells at me. But we got some things coming up, which is great. Like I said, don't miss the cooks. We're having some cooks with Tommy on the shorts. Please see those, support those, and get back to us on that. Matt Perrier from CBA Competitions. I'm sorry, I said his name wrong. Matt Pereira from CBA Competitions is coming on. He's going to come and join us. He's super stoked. The second week of January is the championship in Texas for the CBA National Winners.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's going to be going to that. He wants to talk about that a little bit. But Matt has actually also been charged with having more CBA competitions in New England. He did. Folks who might have gone, and if not, you'll have a chance this year to go for sure. The Rhode Island State competition, backed by CBA, was Matt's first year last year, and it was fantastic. Just great competition. There was an automatic to the jack involved, tied into that, so that's huge, and that's a big draw. But now he's charged with doing this in 4 other states. I think it's Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and don't know.
Like a state championship in those states?
Well, no, just a competition. It doesn't have to be a state. In Rhode Island, it's a state because we don't have many others, and we got it. And he took over a circuit that is deemed like a state championship. Yep. But in these other ones, I don't know if there'll be state championships because there might be other championships.
Somebody else, yeah.
But that'll be the only CBA ones. So I'm sure there'll be a jack tied to those too. And competitors really like these types of competitions because they're smaller in competitor attendance.
Sure.
You don't get the 150 competitors. You get like 30
it's a numbers
40.
game, right? You got a much better chance of winning. There's 20 competitors, whereas you go someplace and there's 387.
Correct. Absolutely. So we love to get Matt on here and have him on. That'll be coming up soon. And you mentioned Fogo de Chao. We have the manager over at the Providence Fogo de Chao that we met, and we're going to meet again when we go down and do a photo shoot down at the restaurant. But Lindsay is psyched about coming on and telling you a little bit about her restaurant and how well it's doing in Rhode Island and everywhere else. I mean, they got about 97 of those puppies now, I think, across the country, and it's just it's doing fantastic. So. And then we're going to be, I think you and I we have one of these set up too again to talk about, here's your holiday roast. So I think we're going to probably take Tommy's cookings and maybe talk about the better.
We're going to talk about how good your cooking is, Tom.
Right. And if we do that, we're going to have to do one with Tommy here to defend himself.
Yeah.
We have to get him back on the piece. So,
yeah, we'll give you a chance, Tommy. You know how we are.
Yeah.
Fair.
Tommy's
Fair play
people.
us. That's what we are.
So that's what's coming up. And then, of course, the big revealing will be later on in January because we're going to talk about, like, what's going to coming up in 25 for the wise guys. Like, what are we doing? What's happening with the barbecue safaris and what's going on with the new studios? And, we're going to be a year old come June. So
Crazy.
I think we're going to have to celebrate a little bit.
Definitely.
There's been so many integral people involved with this that got us the way we need to do. I think we got to kick our heels up a little bit. So all that to come. But hey, thank you very much for joining us again. I hope everybody did enjoy their Thanksgiving. I hope you watched the dog show. I know it's still online, so if you missed it live, it won't be as
if you have insomnia,
fantastic.
If you can't sleep, find it.
Watch it. You're gonna like it. I'm telling you. Hopefully, somebody will come back to me and say, "Vinny, I watched it. It was great. I'm gonna watch it every year now."
I got the dog show downstairs in your house. Okay, I didn't need to watch it from New York City.
So, and now we got the holidays here. I think the tree lighting is this Thursday. So before this drops, the tree in New York should be lit up.
Yep.
So that's good. That'll get you in the mood. And then, all right, go ahead. Now you can bust my chops. And I don't know when it is. I'm thinking it's next Sunday, which would be what? Maybe the
7th?
7th? No. 8th.
This coming Sunday?
Yeah, 8th. Because we're on the 6th is Friday.
You're correct.
Yes.
The 8th.
So I'm going to check it. But the Country Music Awards Christmas party. Got him right in. I got him good, folks. I got him good. Mid-gulp.
Well, my dog was run over by my neighbor's truck. But I don't give up.
I don't know. The only time I can really, I'm not going to say tolerate. My wife likes Western music.
I like Western music.
But I really get into it when it's the holiday music. I love it. So
what kind of music you play here? Oh, we got both kinds, country and Western.
Right. Thanks.
It's a great wine, folks.
It's good wine. I'm sorry I've been
what
depriving you
happens.
folks the wine time, and we won't do it again, I promise. But thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. And stay safe and go out and get that last Black Friday savings on some great gifts. Spread the cheer.
Peace.